this boy was extraordinary. A dragon-shaped statue actually came to life in his hands. The little dragon seemed to have found its master. It tightly wrapped its tail around the boy's finger. Then it transformed into a strange dragon-shaped ring. Uncle Cage across the room looked utterly excited when he saw this. The person I've been searching for has finally been found. He said to the boy, "I will teach you the most powerful magic in the world, but never touch anything in this room carelessly, or the consequences will be severe." After speaking, Cage went to retrieve his magic book hidden in the wall. Just then, a Russian nesting doll suddenly flew out from the wall and rolled to the boy's feet. The doll was painted with a strange man's portrait. Suddenly, the nesting doll began changing in the boy's hands. The frightened boy hurriedly threw it away. "It's too late to throw it away now!" Countless cockroaches came pouring out from the doll's cracks. They eventually transformed into a man. The man looked exactly like the portrait on the nesting doll. He was an evil mage. "I've been trapped in this doll for 1,000 years and was accidentally released by this boy." The newly freed man immediately tried to kill the boy. Thankfully, Cage intervened just in time. He attempted to reseal the mage, but the evil mage found a weakness in his magic. The two began a magical duel. Their powers turned out to be evenly matched. During their battle, another nesting doll rolled into the boy's hands. Just then, the bearded man suddenly approached. At this critical moment, Cage burst through the flames and tackled the bearded man. To protect the boy, he sealed both himself and the bearded man into a container. The traumatized boy ran out to the street. He threw away that nesting doll, then called his teacher. But when they returned, it seemed like nothing had ever happened in the house. All he got was ridicule from his classmates. 10 years flew by in a flash. An old couple noticed their newly bought antique vase shaking like crazy. Then whoosh, black smoke blasted out of it. Turns out the 10-year curse expired. First to bust free, Bearded Howard. He grabbed the jar and chucked it straight out the window. As that thing plummeted, Cage barely clawed his way out last second. The first thing he did was to look for the kid, because dude meant everything to him. Meanwhile, the kid grew up into a physics major. His eyes locked onto these killer black-stockinged legs. Looked up, bam, childhood crush alert. They fumbled through some awkward small talk, but suddenly David felt alive again. Too bad he'd missed the memo. Trouble was already creeping up behind him. Next thing you know, Cage swoops in riding a freaking metal eagle, yanking David back from Howard's grip. Overhead, Cage dropped some ancient lore. Back in Merlin's day, yeah, the Merlin. He mentored 3 hotshot sorcerers, me, my girl Veronica, and my ride-or-die Howard. Then during Merlin's final showdown with Morgana, Howard stabbed us all in the back, helped that witch steal some cursed spellbook to raise zombie armies. Veronica, she took Morgana's soul into herself to save me. Had to seal them both in nesting dolls. Spent 1,000 years trapping every dark mage who tried freeing Morgana. Outer layers still that traitor Howard. Oh, and Merlin's last words? The dragon ring picks my true heir. Only he can end this. For 1,000 years, Cage been hunting that person, till I found you, David. Meanwhile, Howard hit up the antique shop. Magic GPS told him David's nesting doll got scooped by some Chinese granny. Where'd she go? Chinatown, obviously. Cage's crew raced there, but it was too late. Howard already cracked the doll open, unleashing the trapped dark mages. Then, some weirdo in funky robes materialized behind Cage.